Hey everybody, I'm John Reffin and welcome back to the shop. Well, after fixing the handle debacle, we got it all fixed up now. Thought we'd go into the guides. I'll show you a little bit about that. As far as guide spacing goes, now they will send you, if you order a whole kit, or you can go online and go to Mudhole and get a whole list of guide spacing. It's a little hard to see, but you can print that off. Or they'll send you one of these deals. It's got the guide spacing, which will be right here. Now you can adjust those as needed and say put them all on there temporarily, run some line through the guides, make sure that they're where you want. It's not slapping the rod blank or anything like that. But what I'll use to hold them on, it's a surgical tubing, and this stuff will last a long time. I bought this from Mudhole a couple years ago probably, and there's different sizes of it as you go down the rod blank, and it gets thinner and thinner. So I've got all the guides laid out and measurements. I'll get set up, we'll get started. Okay, so got our tubing. Like I said, that's what we'll use to hold the guides on. Our first one will be the double foot guide. So all you need is a small piece. So just cut you off a small little piece like so. And you just start the tip, slide it down. Our first one is right around 49 7/8. Just work it down. It should be somewhere in this neighborhood here. Going about half straight. Now, I will take the rule. Go ahead and get it close. So run it back. That's about where you want the center of the guide. You measure that. Hopefully I can get this where you guys can see it. The center where my fingers are pinching it, 49 7/8. So we're pretty close there. Just take it back up to the other side. Make it easier when we start wrapping. We can insert our guide foot. And one thing about these, you want to check them out, because sometimes the coating will get built up on the feet here just a little bit. This one looks to be pretty decent. We'll put it on the C. If it starts to ride up on you a little bit, it can cause problems when you start to wrap. Slide that foot up under there. This one may need it. So it'll sit just like that. Get this where you can see it real good. A little bit more light, maybe that helps. You can kind of see it that way. And all that's doing is just holding it where you need it to be. Now remember, you want to line it up from your real seat through to your spine. That's what this little mark here is, and also we had that piece of tape here. But let's make sure we get it where we need to be. Slide it back just a little bit. These don't have to be exactly perfect, but you want as close as you can get them. So we're right there, the center of the guide, 49 7/8. I usually put on 2 or 3, or you can do them all and then line them up. That's part takes a minute, and some people might use lasers, some people might use other ways to do it, but I find the best way to do it is just eyeball it. Start from the butt end, just kind of look down and then adjust as you need it. And you can even, once you get them wrapped, you can even adjust ever so slightly a little bit until you get the epoxy. Then it's permanent. But well, what did I do with my? There it is. Let's cut a couple more pieces here. We'll slide some more down. Our next one is around 41 1/4. You get guessing it there, bring one more. So let's see, 41 1/4. Measuring from the tip down. Right. Didn't want to slide very good today. And then the one behind that is 33 3/4. Roughly about right there. They will twist up on you a little bit, but kind of move it around. So keep in mind about your guides. You're going to have, you had the double foot, and you got one that's a little bit bigger, and then pretty much from here on down, they're going to be that side. I believe these might be 5s. A lot of different sizes, so when you do order, be careful. If you want to get the right stuff. Slide that one in. We'll slide our other one. And try to leave yourself room to start your thread, but yet still hold the guide where you need it. You can see that. Just want to leave just a little bit stuck out. I'm going to measure again, see it's close. 1/4. Just going to move just a little bit. Right there, 33 3/4. Oh, that one ain't even close. There we go, 33 3/4. Now, like I said, now you gotta line these up. So let me move the camera around where you can see, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. So basically, just kind of eyeballing down the rod, start at the tip, and use the center of your reel seat, and just kind of look down through it. The first one looks really good. We'll start with that first one. It came out pretty decent. Now, I usually do one and then kind of work my way down. You can go ahead and tie this one up if you want to, and then work your way down. And each one, as you get down through there, you know, you can eyeball them and get everything lined up just right. So I'll measure it one more time. We'll come back and we'll wrap this one. Okay, so we got all our guides on. Now we started with the trim bands. As you can see here, that's about 4 wraps of that silver thread. I'm gonna do it on each and every one of them. I'll show you how we do that. It can be a little tricky. There's different ways to do it. You could actually start with your trim band and then run that silver up under the blue, wrap over top of it. But here's a way that I kind of got to doing it. Hopefully it'll come through where you guys can see it. But just take like it's one of those coffee stirrer straws or anything, a bigger straw, doesn't really matter. And then a piece of your, whatever your trim color is going to be, this happens to be that silver. I'll lay it just right on top. I'm going to do 4 wraps. So leave plenty up underneath of it because you have to run it underneath. So pinch it with your thumb, your fingers. Keep in mind that this one will be your first one. So it's 2, 3, and then number 4. If you don't lose it like I just did. You pinch it with your finger. Now there's a gap between the straw and the rod blank. So you want to run that tag end underneath of those 4 wraps. You'll be able to see the other side a little bit easier. And run that through. Grab a hold of it, pull it. Not tight, but just snug. Now the same thing over here. Pinch that with your thumb. Whoops. Now take this end and run between that gap that's there between the straw and the rod blank. You see it poking out there. right like so. Now you can kind of snug it down just a little bit, and then slide it towards the original wrap. Pull the straw out, snug it down. Sometimes the thread will jump over top of each other. I just snug it just a little bit, just to make sure. As you can kind of see right there, you got those gaps in between it. So snug it just a little bit. Take your burnishing tool and just slide it up just a little bit at a time, because it will loosen back up on you. And sometimes you'll do it and it'll just come right apart. And just tighten it up as you go a little bit. Move it all the way up against your thread. And I like to leave a little bit of a gap right here, because this thread, we'll have to cut it off once we cinch it up. So leave a little bit of gap so your knife doesn't touch your other thread. Been there, done that. So let's give it another good snug. Now when you get it to where you want, leave a little bit of gap, snug it down pretty good. Now as you can see, we got just a little tiny bit of a gap. So this is where you want your blade sharp. Gonna hold that up and touch right against it. And now you can snug it down. Push it all the way up against it. And make sure it's good and straight through there. And then cut your other tag end off. Close as you can get to it. And there you have your trim band. Like I said, there's other ways to do it. That's just how I got to doing it. The thick end of the rod is really easy to do these type, but and you could inlay them even. Say you wanted one here on the end like I have it, or you might want to put another one in the center. That's when I would, like I use my tape to start, and then wrap 3 or 4 wraps, and then leave that tag end. Say run it back down the rod, maybe tape it off, run your blue, then do another 2 or 3 wraps, however many you want. You can make it as fancy as you want to, but as you get towards the other end, it's going to get a little more tedious, and you'll have some of them unwrap on you, but that's the easiest way I found to do it. So got all the trim bands on. All turned out well. Okay, so we got all our guides on. Got the trim bands, all that good stuff. So now it's time for the marbling part of it. Thought I'd show you what you're going to need here. Some way to color the epoxy. And on this I use, I call it high build. It's a lot thicker epoxy than what I would normally put on the guides. So the stuff on the guides is pretty runny. It's self-leveling. This is too, but it just takes a little bit longer because it's thicker. Couple of cups once you get that mixed up, and it's a 2-part epoxy deal. Pull out about 3 millimeters of one, and then of the resin, and then you mix it for at least a minute. You can use a powered mixer like I have, or just mix it by hand. Just mix it slowly so you don't get a lot of bubbles in it. And then to color the epoxy, we're going to use blue and silver, and this is more like a mica powder, like you might use in soft plastic baits or stuff they use in makeup, but it's pretty much the same thing. We're going to use blue and silver, and I did a little test of it here earlier. Turned out pretty good. So we're just going to kind of get the marbling effect. We're going to dot it on, and then we'll take a toothpick. That's what I usually use, or anything you want, and you can just kind of move it back and forth, blend it together, sort of thing. So let me move you around here where you can see what we've got set up here. Now I do recommend doing a little measuring like we did here. Decided where we wanted our hook keeper, and I'm going to wrap out roughly a 1/2 inch. So this will be exposed to the marbling part and underneath the hook keeper and just in front of it. But you know, you can put it wherever you want. I generally take hook keepers and put them on top. You can put them on the bottom sides, whatever flips your trigger there. And then also back here on the butt section of the rod, that's where most of it will be seen back here. I'm going to take just a little bit of sandpaper and just rough it up just a little bit in case I got any glue or anything from the handle on it. Same thing up here, just rough it up just a little bit. And then mix, you know, wipe everything down real good with some alcohol. And then we'll show you how we do it. It's not really much to it, and you can make whatever design you like. You can make like a splattered effect. Just really whatever flips your trigger with it. If you want the right words in it, you probably could do it if you could get that stuff thick enough. But I'll get everything switched around, get the epoxy mixed up, and we'll come right back. Okay, so I've got it mixed up. So first thing you want to do, some of the uncolored epoxy here, get a thin coat before you start placing your colored epoxy here. And try to get it all the way over, because sometimes it can affect your thread wrapping here if you've got like a gap. It'll make like a little indentation if you don't have it all the way covered. And then just like I said, just a thin layer. You don't want a lot. I've been there and put too much on it before. And it'll kind of mix in with your colors a little bit, maybe fade your colors out some. But you just want a little something for it to rest on. Adhere to a little bit. So just a thin coat all the way around on all the surfaces that you plan on marbling. Okay, so we've got our colors mixed up here. Got our blue and our silver. So I'll just take this stir stick and you just kind of start daubing it on different places. Because you're going to end up mixing all this together. Don't get too big of blobs on there because you'll end up with bumps in it. I think I kind of got a little bit too much on that one. You kind of move them around a little bit. You see you get too much. Doesn't take a whole lot to do it. Now and then take some blue. And you can come up with whatever kind of pattern in this if you want a pattern, or you just kind of want it to all run together. You could take a little heat and actually cause it to run. You got to be careful with that, or it'll just turn into a mess. I'll kind of smooth these blobs out a little bit. It's just all going to be random. And kind of look around, see where you need some blue or some silver. You kind of want to cover, I like to cover everything. more silver in there. You can always add as you go. See some spots you might need a little extra. Now let's try that on for size. And just kind of take your toothpick or whatever you choose to use and just kind of randomly go back and forth. You can see how it starts to mix together. Probably gonna need some more on that for sure. Kind of vary the way I move it. And you could even do it with a brush, I suppose, if you choose to do it that way. Now remember, you're going to be wrapping thread, so you don't have to get right up against each one of those winding checks. Just kind of move it all around, swirl it together. Definitely going to need some more in places. That's really about all there is to it. So we'll get the rest of it done and come back. Okay, so we finally got it finished. We got all the decals on, we got it all epoxied up. Ran into a few problems, like I said about the fish eyes that you can get from time to time. Sometimes another coat of epoxy will do the trick. Maybe some light sandpaper, some like emery cloth type stuff, and just rough it up just a little bit and it'll stick to it some. But I'll get you turned around here and I'll show it to you. So here's the butt section to it. I don't know if it comes out very well. Of course, the handle that we fixed. And up here, where they wanted the custom decal, say their Bass Club name on it. And then all the guides, they're blue and silver as well, all the way down. So there it is. It's really not that hard, just a little bit of practice, and you can build your own and make it whatever color you want. Put whatever kind of marbling or knot on it, whatever flips your trigger. So, if you got any questions or comments, or like it, didn't like it, hit me up in the comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.